Today we're checking out the Air Venturi Micro Strike PCP air pistol, which is more like a little carbine. And you guys are going to find out why these sell out instantly. They're in stock now in all calibers, but you're going to find out why this gun is so popular and so badass. For more information, you can shoot on over to Pyramid. If you use the description or the pinned comment to find your way, I'll make 5%. This bad boy is available in 177, 22, or 25 caliber. We're looking at the 177 today because that's all I could get a hold of. But as I said, they're all in stock meow. And Air Venturi has done it again. This little micro strike has all the bells and whistles, performs great, feels awesome. It's a real winner. The main things you should know is that, one, it's 100% metal from head to toe. So it has a great weight and feel to it. Everything's super well made, very well thought out. This is a multi-caliber gun, so for hardly anything, I can get a 22 caliber or a 25 caliber barrel kit and just switch them right out. This has an externally adjustable regulator as well as an adjustable hammer spring. So we're going to be testing the out-of-the-box tune today, but you can turn this way up or way down according to what ammo you want to shoot. I'm assuming that little marking right there is what you would call the factory setting. They're probably all going to come like that. So on the factory setting, this 177 is putting out some good power. Ooh. You can fill the 80cc air tank to a full 300 bar or 4,300 psi. It's got a side lever action, very smooth, and the whole gun has a great balance and feel even with a heavy scope on there. And that's just how short guns are, but it only weighs 4.5 pounds. It's going to come with a single shot tray, 2 magazines. For velocity, we're looking at 900 feet per second in 177, and these are definitely understated because my first shot was 916 feet per second. They're listing the 22 caliber as 830 feet per second and the 25 as 735 feet per second. But I'm sure, for instance, in the 22 caliber, if it's not already shooting 890 or 900 with your favorite pellet, you can just bump it up a teeny bit and you'll be right where you want to be. That's 15 foot-pounds of energy in 177, 27 foot-pounds in 22 caliber, and 30 foot-pounds in 25 caliber. And it does say here the shots per fill at those tunes are going to be about 30 shots in 177, 26 shots in 22, and 24 shots in 25. 177 and 22 caliber magazines are going to hold 10 in the mag, the 25 caliber magazine holding 8 rounds. This has a 10.65 inch barrel. The length of the entire pistol is 16.5 inches. When you throw the buttstock on there, it's between 25 and 29 inches. It also folds, so as soon as you fold it, you're back down to the 16.5 inches. The good thing about this gun, you guys, is that it has the power. So if it was like a compact, cool little gun like this, but you could shoot 700 feet per second, it wouldn't be as neat. But this thing is like a monster. For instance, if I want to get less than 30 shots per fill, I could send these 16.20 pellets down range at 900 feet per second. And that's some major destructive power. Plus, if you pick the right pellet, you got the accuracy as well. This comes with 2 gauges. The one on the front is going to display your tank pressure, and the one underneath the gun is going to show what your regulator's set at. One important thing is that you can't turn the regulator up or down with air in the gun. But there's a little degassing screw right next to it. It says don't remove that all the way. Just loosen it. Make sure all the air's out of the gun. Then you're just going to have to dial your regulator up and down, fill it back up, and see where you're at. But it's only an 80cc tank, so shouldn't be too big a deal. And yeah, you got to snap it all the way in. But it kind of seems like it's in when it's like that. But it's not. You got to make sure that thing is all the way, that last little teeny snap. We got a 1/2 UNF threaded muzzle, so you can put any standard airgun moderator on it, which you're going to need if you're doing backyard shooting. This 6-position buttstock, it's nice. And the buffer tube is all aluminum. As well, you can put any standard stock on here. It's got a Picatinny attachment at the end. But they give you a nice heavy-duty, fully aluminum, collapsible folding stock. But that's actually just the spring-loaded handle for your stock release. So you just go like this, and then you'll be able to fold your stock. Snaps back into place. The only polymer things on this entire gun are the pistol grip and the end of the buttstock. You got a Picatinny optics rail that goes the entire length of the gun. Removable iron sights, which are actually white dot sights, and they did not cut any corners on this gun. Every single part is metal. The sights, the trigger, everything. Very heavy duty. This thing's built like a brick. And the sights are adjustable for windage. It has a 2-stage trigger with adjustable pull weight. So there's just one screw and you can loosen or tighten that up. And as I said before, you have an externally adjustable regulator and hammer spring. Typically what you would do to increase your velocity would be tighten up your hammer spring, but there'll come a point where that no longer has an effect. And at that point, you're going to back your hammer spring off a little bit and bump up your regulator 5 or 10 bar. Then there would eventually come a time when your regulator does not have an effect. And at that point, you would back your reg back off and then bump your hammer spring tension up a little bit. And that's how you tune the hammer spring and the regulator together. And that's it. Now let's do some shooting. That nickel looks huge after shooting at those dime-sized bullseyes. Wow. Well, child's play. Ooh. I'll show you how to change your caliber as well later in this video. I really wanted to shoot the micro strike, so I went out there on a windy day when the sun had pretty much already gone down. But that's when I determined that this gun prefers the 10.34 grain pellets. And here's a group that I shot with those in low light conditions with probably 10-mile-an-hour wind. And that was at 29 yards away. All right, see here. I'm going to do a group with these on the reg here. That's right, nice dime-sized group. Oh, those are the 10.34s, okay. That was 29 yards away, and it fits way under a dime. Here's the next day, and I backed it up to 25 yards. I had already determined that the Hades didn't shoot well. I had not tried the atomic at this point, so this is a shootout between the 3 best 10-grain pellets that I had on hand. I was also using my Scout Whisper moderator at this point, so you'll notice it's quite a bit more quiet. Wow, you guys. I was nervous, but I just used my fundamentals. Oh, darn it. Loaded the same one again. Watch this. Good enough, it's still under a dime, you guys. And that's not officially part of my group. All right, let's switch over to the 10.34 grain JSB domed. The 10.34 domed are a little more wandery. They kind of go in a string up and down sometimes, whereas the FX Atomic are just lasers. These are the Benjamin 10.5 grain. Darn it. Benjamin. Or was it me? We'll find out right now. Yep. Good enough, you guys. Still fit under a dime. These are two 10.34 grain that are doing awesome. And these 10.5 grains going a little bit slower, still doing great. And here's how you change the caliber on the Venturi Micro Strike. All right, this is just standard Allen keys, or I guess what you call hex heads, and we're going to be using the 2.5 millimeter and a 3 millimeter. If you want to remove just the shroud, that's a 3 millimeter, and that holds the shroud to the barrel, which is held into the receiver right here. This right here is your probe. You're going to have to change that out, and you see that little hole in the middle? You could put a 1.5 millimeter Allen key through there, and then when the barrel is out, we'll be able to unscrew that counterclockwise and then change it out through this hole actually. All right, I went ahead and left this screw in. See what happens when I yank on this. All right, that was actually a little bit better, just like the instructions said. So go ahead and leave that one in there. That pulled right out. So now this thing, you basically put a 1.5 millimeter guy through there. I think I have one. Just like this. And then we're just going to turn it counterclockwise. And there it is. It's unscrewing now. It's easiest to just unscrew it like this. It would be a little bit tedious, but as you're unscrewing it, it's going to go forward and you should be able to pull it out the end of this hole right here. Got that hand tight and ready to rock and roll. And then this 177 was a little difficult to clean. So you could take your barrel off and clean it from the back with a traditional cleaning rod, as long as you made sure that the rod was not going to come out the end of the barrel. Perfect. That just snapped right in there. Nice. You can also remove the 3 millimeter screw that's over the shroud and just pull the shroud off. And then your barrel is going to be in there pretty good. Once you remove the 2.5 millimeter grub screws, that thing will come out, but you have to kind of wiggle it from side to side to pop it out. There's a teeny screw that holds this plastic sleeve on there. You don't want to take that off because it tells you how far you're supposed to put your barrel in. Also be careful when you're putting your barrel back in, because if you shove it too hard, it'll slam past and go into the receiver. You know, I kind of had to pop it in with the O-rings, and I was pushing down, it went too hard, and it jammed back here, and I probably damaged my pellet probe. There are detents in the top of the barrel, and in the bottom is a transfer port. So when you're putting it back in, have your transfer port facing down, your detents facing up, and if you have the proper lighting, you should be able to look through those holes, line the detents up, and then when you put your grub screws back in, it'll make everything perfect. If you want to see an in-depth video on the MicroStrike, you can check out AEAC. He can tell you how to tune it, and also he'll be shooting it at a longer distance. As well, Rick over there at Shooter1721 is always good for a trick shot and some long distance shooting.
Hey, this is Rick with Shooter1721. We're here with the Air Venturi MicroStrike 22. We got 41 yards, JSBs, 18.1 grain.
As far as sound goes, my 177 here was super loud without a moderator, and then with a moderator, it's totally backyard friendly. Another gun that Air Venturi just came out with that's really good is called the Air Venturi Alpha. So there will be a link at the end of this video. Check out that review if you haven't seen it yet. All right, everyone, I appreciate you tuning in. Wow. Till next week, happy shooting. We'll see you on the next one.